I've got my monkey head here, and as I move through the frames, it changes to blue and then to green. And if we look at the materials here, it actually changes complete material. So I'd already set up a blue, green and red. So on frame 1 it's red, then blue, then green. And even more helpful here, as I move through the frames, the file name updates automatically as well. So we've got Suzanne red, Suzanne blue, Suzanne green. So now I can simply click render animation and it'll take care of all of it for me. This has saved me loads of time on a recent project where I had to create hundreds of bespoke materials, apply it to the same object, and then render them all out and also name all of the file names to specific names for a client. So I did this using a Python script, which I'll show in a moment, and even better than that, I didn't write the Python script myself. I don't really write Python. I got ChatGPT to do it for me. Okay, so let's take a little look how you use scripting in Blender. So if you click this scripting tab up the top here, okay, let me get rid of this. Okay, so the screen will look a little bit like that. When you get in here, you've got this kind of area here where you can put your scripts in, and then there's some information here on the left. So you can click new, and then you can start writing your Python if you want to, or you can open it up. Okay, so here's my code. I'm just going to copy and paste it in, and we'll take a little look at how that code was generated in a moment. You paste your code in, okay, and then basically you hit the run button here, and this code is defining each of the materials that I'd already created previously, as I showed before. I've given them fake users, so when I save it, if you don't give them fake users, if a material isn't connected to an object, it won't be there when you get back. So you need to give them fake users, which you do by clicking the shield here. Okay, but basically then it takes each of those materials, which I've defined here. The suffix is the bit that is used in the name of the file once it's been rendered. And then basically this bit of code just cycles through each of these. When it's on frame 1, use red, when frame 2, blue, 3, green, etc. And basically just updates the material and the file name. So if we're on frame 1, red, frame 2, blue, frame 3, green. So this is really powerful. You can write whatever code kind of you need in here, or get the code generated in here. Basically run it by pressing the arrow button at the top here, and then whatever code has been run, you can then basically go and see the results. There's lots of options for using Python in Blender. There's some good documentation as well, which I'll put a link to in the description, but you can just search for Python API documentation, and all the different features and functions are available in here. But as I say, I didn't write the code myself. I got ChatGPT to write the code for me. So it comes down then basically to your prompt. So I told ChatGPT, even with all the spelling mistakes, exactly what I wanted it to do. It then generates some code for me. And then I tried the code a couple of times, needed to ask ChatGPT to make some updates to the code, and then eventually got the code that I wanted that worked. So it comes down a little bit to how good your prompts are. You need to basically test it, rerun it, that kind of thing. If your prompt's really good in the first place, it'll probably get it right first time. But here, as you can see, I had to kind of go back and forth a little bit to get it right. So let's just test it now. Let's render the animation. Okay, it's finished rendering. So now if I go into my folder, you can see here that I've got 3 frames, 1 red, 1 blue, 1 green, kind of with the file names as I wanted. Okay, excellent. So I think this is a really powerful tool. You no longer need to be a coder to get this benefit either. Being able to automate these kind of processes in Blender is really useful if you're doing work or you've got very specific tasks that you need to do. This can really help automate some processes. And now for me, it's just another option that I know I've got in Blender if I need to be able to achieve something I'm not quite sure how to do, or I think it's going to be incredibly manual. I can start working with ChatGPT, start using the code and the scripting in here to get some stuff done. Hopefully you found this helpful, and I'll see you on the next one.